I noticed there was a little bit of sand accumulating in the frame rails. So I guess that was from when I sandblasted, when I needed to get around that area right there. Some must have got in there. So I got this thing up on a ladder. That was not easy. You better be Hercules to get that thing up there. So now I'm going to be shooting some air in there and see if I can get that sand to come out. Alright, today I'm getting all the rust off these old horns and taking these brackets off, getting these things ready to paint. I've been using this for now, but I might switch over to the wire wheel. Alright, I've been using the wire wheel and got most of this paint off the top of this one, and I'm going to be starting on this one next. Alright, I got this thing down to pretty much bare metal with that wire wheel. I also used the drill with a smaller wire wheel. So there's a little bit there in some of the nooks and crannies. I think I might plug this thing up and just try to sandblast a little bit here and try to get this thing back into some primer today. These things came out very nice and clean from the sandblaster. Got in there, got all the nooks and crannies out, and they're ready for a primer. Okay, I'm getting ready to put some primer on these things. Took the wire wheel out, got everything down to bare metal. These torsion bars, I gotta respray those because that Pour 15, it just doesn't, it globbed up and it didn't look right. So I'm going to respray those. I got these various parts, these horn brackets, steering column, and some washers. Get it going. Okay, hopefully I have all my ducks in a row on this thing. I mixed this up 4-to-1 with hardener, and I've got my new gun holder. And so I'm going to see if this works. Alright. Okay, I got everything looking good in primer. And I'm waiting for it to dry. And I'm going to hit it up with some black acrylic enamel here in a little bit. Okay, I got these next batch of parts sprayed with some black acrylic and getting ready to install this. Got these torsion bars done too, and these strut rods, so I can start putting together this front suspension. Okay, I did get the yoke I was waiting for my drive shaft, and the locking pawls for the axles. So I'm going to take these seals and bearings on down to Volusia drivetrain, and he can get going on putting everything together. Alright, back here again at B&B Fasteners. I just dropped off that drivetrain stuff to Volusia drivetrain, and I bought some stainless nuts that I'm going to need, and I'm on the way back. Alright, I got my brand new remanufactured steering box back from Lars Engineering, $700, and they painted it cast gray, really nicely packaged, and I'm ready to put that thing in. Alright, I got this transmission cross member in, and it appears to bolt in just right. Everything looks good, and that's a big relief, because I wasn't sure I was going to find one of these things or if it would even fit, since it's a 59, but it does. Alright, this morning I got a call from the guy at the drive shaft place, and he informed me that the yoke that I ordered has a incorrect hole size. So I was supposed to find a yoke that has a 1.240 hole diameter. I went through and looked at all the yokes online, both on eBay and otherwise, and I couldn't find any yokes that advertised the hole diameter. So I went ahead and contacted this guy at Mopar Madness. I called him and I sent him a message through eBay confirming that he can send me a new yoke with that correct hole diameter. So he did verify that he'd send me that, and I went ahead and ordered another yoke, and that other one I can't return it because there's no return, so I'm just stuck trying to sell that one. So hopefully this will take care of everything. Got money flying out the window here. Alright, I sprayed the inside of this transmission cross member with rust dissolver gel. Now I'm going to go ahead and see if I can sandblast this on the outside and wash it out through the inside. Alright, I got this thing mostly stripped down. There's a few parts that are going to need to be touched up, but had a little bit of a malfunction. There's a little sprayer jet thing that goes inside of this extension, and it came loose. So I'm going to have to figure out how to glue it back in. I put it back in, but now it slides around. I think it's supposed to be on this end, and it slid up to this end, which doesn't create suction, so I'm going to figure that out. Alright, I got this cross member down to bare metal. With the wire wheel, and sprayed a bunch of rust dissolver up in there again. So I think I'm getting ready to paint this. Alright, I got that inside of that cross member pressure washed. Got all that rust dissolver residue out of there. And then I cleaned it as best I could with a long wire brush. Looked pretty clean, so now I hit it with some rust reformer paint up in there. And I'm going to spray the outside with some good epoxy primer and black acrylic. Right, I got this thing sprayed with some epoxy primer. I also cleaned up and sprayed these front bumper brackets. I didn't do that many pieces today, but you don't want to let these things sit around with bare metal, because you just end up cleaning them over and over again with rust. So it's best just to hurry up and spray it, and it's a pain in the ass cleaning that gun out, but it's still worth it. I've been putting the wood together to build a small tank for electrolysis. I'm gonna get all the rust off these seat springs with that. So I have to order a power supply and get some other supplies. But I've been cutting the wood and getting that ready.